In Project 1A on page 9, we're going to begin creating and saving an Excel workbook. And as I mentioned previously, all the model answers are on page 4, so you can kind of see what we're going to be working towards for Project 1 on page 4. We're going to begin by clicking in cell A2, and we're going to start in by typing employee, and I'm going to press the tab key, which makes B2 then active, and I'll go ahead and type in location. Tab again, we'll type in benefits. Now when I press enter, that should take me down to A3, and I can go ahead and type in the first employee, and I'm going to go ahead and press enter to enter in the remaining employees. Okay, so that enters them in through cell A8. And then once you get your information typed in, then we're going to save our workbook. And to save, we're going to go to the File tab. And you'll notice in our list here, the Save As. And I guess I should mention this. The File area, this whole area is called the Backstage view. That's something that's new in 2010. But we're going to go to the File tab and then Save As. And then they want us to save it in a folder. So again, I would recommend either on a flash drive or on your C drive. And I'm actually going to put mine on the flash drive that I have. I've created a 218 folder for the summer. And then I'm going to create a folder. I've got some other folders in here, but I'm going to create a folder called Online Classwork. Oh, I'm going to save all of my work into. So click OK there. That will create the folder and actually place me in that folder, so whatever I save. And I think I'm going to do another one as well. I'm going to create a folder called Level 1 Chapter 1. And then the file name itself, they've got a long name here, but it's actually standing for Excel Level 1, Chapter 1, Project 1. And then the name of it's Employee Benefits, and they've abbreviated that a little bit. So that's the name that we're going to give to our workbook. And then at the bottom lower right hand corner you can click Save, or you can press Enter as well, and that will save the workbook. Next we're going to look at editing information within a cell, and sometimes there are times when you want to make changes to existing text, either by adding to it or deleting it or just editing the information. And so we're going to do that in Project 1B. They actually want us to go to cell A7, which I'm not going to attempt to even pronounce that name. So with this, and I guess I spelled it incorrectly, but we'll correct it. They want us to change the K to a C, and mine doesn't even have a K in it. But I am going to double click inside that cell. That places the insertion point within the cell, and then you can move using your arrows on your keyboard to move to the character that they want you to change. So I need to change it to a C. And then we're going to go to cell A4, and instead of Connors, they want it to be Bryant. And as the name changes there, instead of just clicking inside of it to make the change, we're actually just going to type right over it, and when you type over it, it replaces the contents that are in it. So I'm just going to type right over Connors so that we have Bryant within the cell. And then in cell, I guess they want us to go to cell C2. So we'll go into cell C2, and then they're going to have us search for a specific cell reference, and in it they want us to actually in cell C2 they want us to type in classification. Now let me jump back because I didn't do that correctly. Let's say we're in cell A8, and in order to quickly go to a specific cell, you can use the go to option, which is in the Find and Replace area. And the Find and Replace is on the Home tab. It's in the Editing group, and again, my buttons may look a little different than yours, but it's the little binoculars, Find and Select. I'm going to click on that, and within it you're going to see Go To. That brings up the Go To dialog box, and then if we want to go to cell C7, we can type that in the reference text box, click OK, and that immediately, I must have typed in the wrong one. Should be C2. I think I put in C7 obviously. Then click OK, and that'll take you to cell C2. Within that cell, they want us to change benefits to classification. So again, I'm just going to type right over the text that's in that cell. Now with the changes that we've made, we're also going to save. We're going to update the changes that we've made. So unless we're changing the name of it, we're keeping the same name. If we want to keep the same name and just save, we're going to click on the Save button that's on the Quick Access toolbar. The Save button is also found on your File tab and then Save. Either one of those is fine. If you wanted to print a workbook, they are referring to this on page 11, you can certainly print parts of your workbook, various pages of your workbook, but they want us to at least look at our print area in the Backstage view. So to get to that, it's under the File tab, and then you're going to see Print in the categories on the left, and by doing that, that'll display all the print categories, print options that you have. So you can have print number of copies, tells you what printer you want to select. The settings for the print active sheets, you can also print entire workbook or print a selection of your sheet. Pages, print on both sides, collate. Orientation can be portrait or landscape. There's a lot of different options within the print dialog box or the print tab in your Backstage view. So take a look at those and review those as you like. At the bottom of page 12, they look at closing a workbook, which simply is just clicking on the close. No, I'm lying to you. Let's go back to the Home tab just a minute. The Close button on the second row will close out of the workbook and keep you in Excel. The top X will close you out of Excel. It'll also prompt you if you've made any changes to Excel. It'll prompt you to save your changes as you exit. On page 13, they talk about automatically entering, or the automatic entering features. One is the autocomplete, the second one is autocorrect, and finally autofill. We're going to take a look at each one of those separately. The autocomplete and autocorrect are discussed at the bottom of page 13. If you'll notice, the one that's actually being displayed in 1.7 is autocorrect. So, and you've probably seen this in Word and other applications. If you type an incorrect word like TEH, and you press the space bar, it probably corrects it for you to THE, the word the. They also give at the bottom of page 13 some symbols that if you use shortcuts, notice the left parenthesis, C, right parenthesis, that'll give you the copyright symbol, registered trademarks in there, the trademark symbol. All those are in there as well in the autocorrect dialog box. The autocomplete we'll take a look at in just a minute as well. So let's go back, and we're back on the Home tab, which displays our workbook. We're going to start in cell A1, and we're going to type in the registered trademark symbol. So, but before we do that, we need to type in the word TeamNet. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And then the registered trademark symbol is a left parenthesis, R, right parenthesis. As soon as you press the space bar, or if I would press enter, that would automatically convert it to the registered trademark symbol. I know that's kind of hard to see, but now you can see maybe it's an R. So that's an example of using the autocorrect option. All right, now in the second column, the location column, we're going to be putting in various locations, east, west, north, and south. Actually, it didn't have south, so it's just west and north, sorry. But we're going to see demonstrated the autocomplete feature. And for the first one, I'm going to go ahead and type in west. Pressing enter. The second one is north. The third one down, which is in cell B5, is west. Now watch what happens when I type in a capital W. It recognizes that you've keyed in a word previously that starts with a capital W, and so it tries to complete that word. If it's a word that you want, you just go ahead and press enter. That accepts it. If I didn't want west, which I'll type in again, if I wanted something different, maybe I was going to type in wreath or something like that, you just keep typing and it'll be eliminated. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we do want west for the next one. North is the same way. I just type in an N and it automatically puts in north. I can press enter to accept that, and then finally west. So it does save you some time if you kind of watch the autocomplete feature. I'm going to go ahead and click on save here. The last column is hourly and salaried. Same concept. If I type in hourly for the first one, salaried for the second, third, fourth one. As soon as I type in a capital S, There's my autocomplete hourly. I'm just typing in the S and the H's at the bottom. So it's a real quick way of filling in information if that's applicable to you. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Save button again. And at this point, they want us to close out of the workbook. So I'm going to choose the second X out, down, click on that, and that closes out of the workbook, but it keeps you in Excel.